berbincang dan menjelaskan kepada wakil Persatuan Polis tentang kepentingan untuk mewujudkan IPCMC bagi memulihkan imej PDRM di mata rakyat. Saya percaya dengan penubuhan IPCMC bukan hanya imej, malah kebajikan pihak polis juga akan turut dibela. Bagi anggota polis yang tidak melakukan kesalahan, saya rasa tidak ada apa-apa yang perlu dikhawatirkan. Sekian, terima kasih. Kalau ada soalan, silakan.
To the opposition MPs as well. Can you confirm that?
Well, because even the opposition have exercised some power. For example, they have the power of criticizing the government. So for a fee, they might voice the criticism made by somebody or other. So they also must declare their asset. We have to go through the Speaker of the Dewan Rakyat before this can be initiated.
Tun here. Tun, the report which was released by MINDEF last week showed that projects had begun even though the contracts were not signed and payments were made. But some of these officers who approved the payments have already retired. So can the government still take action?
Yes, the government can still take action, and it is our intention to make the report on wrongdoings done in the past. Whether the wrongdoer is here or no longer here, they will make a report and legal action will be taken.
As we are talking about integrity, the Defense Ministry land swap report indicates that many people, including your defense ministers in your first term as PM, is involved in that land swap incident. So do you want to comment on that? Thanks.
Well, the police will investigate, the Prime Minister as well. Nobody is above the law. Okay?
So there is no limit for food and flowers. There is no limit at all. But for gifts, 500 ringgit is the max in terms of the value.
Yeah, they wanted to send me 1 ton of dodoi, but I say 1 ton. I must admit that they send so much that I have to redistribute. I don't know whether that is corruption or not, but they sent me 2 big boxes of fruits. I have to sit down bulan puasa, sit down and eat the fruit. Cannot, so I have to give fruit away.
You mentioned the key is implementation, right? The key is you mentioned the key is implementation. Nothing will happen, even my portfolio. Nothing will happen unless there is serious about implementation. What about the monitoring? What are you doing in terms of the monitoring, the supervision, the implementation? Whose job is that?
Yeah, you have your mic, but you put your mic that side, and then you talk to me. What is it? What is it you want to ask?
Oh, we can't hear. Tun. Yeah. You mentioned the key is implementation. The key is implementation. The key is implementation. Who's going to do the monitoring and the supervision to make sure that my portfolio and everything that you have just mentioned, all the suggestions succeed?
They will do spot check, but also they depend upon the public reporting. Okay? Yes.
Tun, kerajaan boleh tanya sikit Tun, kerajaan berdepan dengan kritikan apabila menghantar seorang wanita warga negara Thailand pulang ke negara asal kerana mempunyai pandangan anti monarki Tun. Boleh dapatkan respon Tun berhubung perkara ini?
Itu masalah dia orang lah, bukan masalah kita.
Kenapa kita hantar balik dia ke negara asal tu?
Dia bukan, kalau ada permintaan daripada ni kita terpaksa hantar balik. good neighbor.
Tun, Bloomberg yesterday reported that investors are losing confidence and losing patience because of the slow reforms of the Pakatan government. So what are we doing to address this situation?
Yeah, we are depending upon the press, like you, for example. You see the list of things where we scored very high. Obviously, this is a good country to invest money in, but great experts write in the press that Malaysia is very bad, as if we are going through a war or something. But actually we are performing very well and the investments are coming in. But please report the truth. Don't report fake news. Although we don't have the law here. Yes.
Adakah turut melibatkan ahli keluarga, menteri dan juga bagaimana dengan PM dengan TPM sendiri?
Anggota, ya, ada terlibat juga.
Tun, sini. As we have come into the 50th anniversary of May 13 incident, do you think that the documents related to May 13 history should be declassified as what is requesting by the May 13 Remembrance and Cemetery Preservation Committee? And the second question is, should there be a Truth and Reconciliations Commissions to be formed to find out, to dig out the more truth and pursue reconciliation for the whole country? Thanks.
We will study that.
Tun,
Anything else?
Tun, nak tanya dengan kenyataan Presiden KUPEC yang mendakwa bahawa ada pegawai lantikan politik yang mengganggu penjawat awam.
Ya.
Mungkin sedikit komentar.
Sebenarnya tak ada yang mengganggu. Kadang-kadang ada persisihan pendapat. Jadi kadang-kadang dia tegur lah. Itu bukan ganggu, cuma tegur aja. Yes.
Hi Tun. Yes. Earlier you mentioned that the EC has commented that ministers and government officials cannot go down to the field to campaign during by-elections during their work hours. Is there some sort of guideline that you sort of want to put down to say like, okay, these are government officials' work hours or like something like that, or some sort of campaigning time that you want to set?
Well, the Suruhanjaya Pilihan Raya drew up these conditions and we find that it is grossly unfair to the government, and therefore we are going to ask the Suruhanjaya to reconsider their conditions against government officers, government from campaigning.
Tun, in the press statement, it mentions that the government plans to set up a task force to look into to improve corporate governance, and that will be led by Tan Sri Zeti Akhtar. Can you tell us more about this? When do you plan to set this up? How many members of this task force?
They are already doing that, and it has already been assessed by foreigners, and they find that corporate governance in Malaysia is quite good. We are placed among the top countries where corporate governance is according to the requirements.
Okay, itu saja kita.
Sorry, Tun. Can I just follow up on my question? On the task force that will be led by Tan Sri Zeti, can you tell us when it will be set up?
She will set up the committee and she will study the report made on the corporate governance. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Terima kasih Yang Amat Berhormat Tun. Sekian saja majlis kita pada tengah hari.